Meeple Nation Podcast, episode 456. Welcome to 2023. What are we looking forward to in 2023?
Welcome, citizens of Meeple Nation. For the next 30 minutes, sit back and enjoy.
See how I rhymed we and three?
Good job.
So very nice.
And 20.
I do have to say 2023 doesn't roll off the tongue. It doesn't pop like 2022.
It's going to take some getting used to.
Yeah, it will.
Meeple Nation Podcast is sponsored by GameToppersLLC.com. Upgrade your game night with a beautiful game topper for your game room, or if you don't have a game room, for your dining room. The wonderful thing about game toppers is they're modular and they're easy to take apart and store. Pull them out when it's time for game night, or even better, leave your game topper up, get some dining covers. Once dinner's over, it's party time and time to break out your favorite game. GameToppersLLC.com has a ton of beautiful game mats, improve the look of every single game you own. We usually try to match the theme up with the mats that we have to match it with the theme of the game that we're playing. Even if the game mat doesn't match, it always is an upgrade, and it's the best thing I have purchased for my game room. I know that everyone I've talked to that owns a Game Topper feels the same way. Check them out. They have wonderful products, very high quality, GameToppersLLC.com.
You mentioned the dining table, keeping the game covered up, eating, and then breaking out the game. I can think of two great benefits to that right off the top of my head, right? A lot of people don't play a lot of games because they just don't have time. If it's right there, ready to go, boom. And then on top of that, what better way to getting the dishes done after dinner? You know what I mean? Let's get these dishes done so we can play a game, and everybody pitches in and get it done. And
Yeah, you're right, Dave. They don't have dining covers for the Minecraft yet, and those are still in development. And I'm really excited for those to come out because I have my third top in the upstairs room where we have a table set up to eat, and I would love to just be able to throw dining covers on there, have that extra space so I can leave that topper with the leg kit up all the time, and have that always available as an extra game table for Friday night game nights if people need to congregate upstairs outside of the game room.
That way, Caden can WWE all over that.
Let's not try that.
Have you met Caden?
Yeah, I've met him before. I will say this. My daughter dropped a pizza-ridden fork, oily and everything, on top of one of my mats last week. And it cleaned up beautifully.
Because you were pretty upset that day.
A little bit of Dawn, and you get a damp cloth, and I just leave that damp cloth on there for a couple of hours, and it just soaks everything up. Cleans it very nicely. That's one thing that's awesome about the Game Topper mats is not only are they high quality, really super easy to clean.
We are the hosts of Meeple Nation. I'm Douglas Stewart.
I'm Nathan Howard.
I'm Dave Holiday.
And I am Andy Holiday.
Do you remember when we used to have Logan? Those were the good times.
Who?
Yeah, that name sounds familiar, right?
Who is this Logan of whom you speak? We miss you, Logan. Citizens of Meeple Nation, as your merciful but all-knowing Meeple overlords, we command you to please go and check out meeplenation.com, where you will enjoy our blogs, check out photos, links to past episodes, read a little bit more about us, and find our link to Patreon. We really appreciate those who donate via Patreon. We're grateful for those donations. They help us improve the podcast in different ways. We also love it when you interact with us. Please email us at meeplenation@gmail.com. You will comply.
Welcome to 2023. This week, we are looking forward to doing, playing, eating in the year 2023.
It's right there in the notes.
Yep.
Nice job,
Okay.
Dave.
Hey, I do what I'm told. All right. Just kidding. All right. This week, we're going to chat a little bit about the things we're going to discuss and talk about.
Stop it.
Okay, sorry. This week, we are going to discuss some of the things that we are really looking forward to in 2023. 2 weeks ago, we talked about our year-end review. This is kind of our year preview.
Out with the old and in with the new.
January has me really excited because of BryceCon. I'm excited about all the cons we get to go on throughout the year, but I'm really looking forward to BryceCon.
BryceCon's one of my favorite intimate gaming. BryceCon, Hug a Meeple cons. All three of those are superb. But BryceCon is just different. I mean, it's still a convention. You're still going to game with other people. But last year, I had a blast. BryceCon was probably my greatest con experience.
If you haven't heard us talk about it before, Nathan was cry laughing half the convention.
It was ugly cry laughing, too.
It was awesome.
Dave's wife, Doug's wife, and I were playing games together, and the conversation, the discussion, and the early morning hours all combined to make one wonderful experience. I don't think I've laughed so hard in so long in a long time. And I hope I get to do that again in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. Of course, as always, one of the things I really look forward to that my wife will be there with me. And hopefully my daughter Noodles will come up and see us too.
As long as nothing happens, my wife should be there too. And she's actually really pretty excited about it. Doug and Lydia and I and Cheryl went out, and Lydia brought it up, and Cheryl was like, "Are you going to be there?" And Lydia's like, yeah, it was so much fun last time. And Lydia's like, "Are you going to be there?" And Cheryl's, "Yeah, it's going to be good." I was excited. So she's not only planning on coming, she's excited to be there, which has me looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah, I love it.
This last year has been a game changer for my wife and I as far as related to gaming. Apparently lit a fire under her, and seems like it's just going to have an eternal burn because she just keeps playing games, and maybe she has some issues. It's good times.
Do you think those issues are contagious? Because I could bring my wife over a little more often.
That would be good. I don't know if it's contagious or not, but I am definitely stoking that fire. Get some games for the small group to play. I think that would be a good start to try to get Sabrina to start playing some games and hopefully help my wife come out of her shell a little bit too.
Very excited about BryceCon this year. I'm taking my whole family. One of the fun things about BryceCon is the setting too. It's right there at the mouth of Bryce Canyon. There's plenty for the family to do. Not everyone is into games or wants to game as much as we necessarily do. You can send them off to the swimming pool, send them up the canyon to go on some hikes. It's just a beautiful setting, an intimate little convention. It's turned into one of my favorite conventions for sure. Way looking forward to SaltCon Bryce.
So we have BryceCon, then we have SaltCon Spring, which happens in the first weekend of March.
And I'm going to pause you just for 1 second there, because SaltCon Spring, there's always something very special that happens. You totally own and rock at.
And I'm stressing this year because I don't know if I'm going to get it done. I'm working on it. But yeah, every spring we do the SaltCon game show, which this year we're doing Family Feud theme. Pointless one was really fun too, but Family Feud seems to be a fan favorite.
My gaming is not typically about the party games and the big groups and that kind of a thing. But the first time I came down to SaltCon, when me and Nathan Tinney drove down from Washington, we went to the Pointless game show that you had run that year. It was easily my favorite thing of the con. It was amazing. And just how much fun everybody had. That room was filled with, 60 people. And it was just a total blast.
The game show by far is a highlight for me, probably the greatest thing I look forward to in the spring. It's a lot of work to try to get responses for this as I send out surveys. I'm trying to gather these results. If you want to participate and help support me and help support the podcast and the game show, reach out to us at meeplenation@gmail.com and say, "Hey, send me the survey," and I will send you a link to the survey.
It's really quick.
It's asking at least 12 questions. And then I'll try to filter out, maybe sneak in a couple more, but they're pretty simple questions.
All right, sorry, I didn't mean to take you off track.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it because it is a lot of fun. It's great to participate in the con through that game show. After SaltCon Spring, we have HugaMeepleCon North, our private convention that we run up here where we have the Harriman, Utah gaming gals. They come up, we all hang out up here in North and play games, eat some amazing food. And then after that, we have SaltCon Summer, which is in June, SaltCon End of Summer, which is in August. In October, HugaMeeple South. We all go down to Harriman, invade Julie's home, a ton of game and laughs and more delicious food there. And then we end our con sweep by going to BGGCon in Texas. We had a blast this last year. That's still kind of fresh on our minds. Great places to eat. We're going to Hard Eight again, Bushi Bushi Dim Sum, which is super awesome. These conventions that are open to the public, we'd love to meet up with people, gladly give you a crisp high five. We have some stickers even. We'd love to see you and say hi and see what you're playing. There's always something else that kind of spurs up there. Like last year we had the Dig Con Doug did at Lydia's school. Unfortunately, with it being 2023, we can't play Doug's 2-player games on Tuesday, February 2nd, 2022. So maybe we can play some 2 to 3-player games, whatever that day comes
It will
up.
not be hard for us to find an excuse to throw together a convention or a game day here or there.
I mean, we spend a lot of time together. I really enjoy my time with you guys and my relationship with you guys and our families. It made 2022 such a great year, and I'm just looking for more good times. I've always had New Year's Eve parties. This last year with the move, I no longer had a venue I could use. So Andy was nice enough to supply his home, which Andy supplies his home quite often for Hug a Meeple Con, for Friday game nights, for dinners, and spur of the moment, hey, I don't work tomorrow, Black Friday game day. But that's a lot of con stuff. So let's talk about some games. What are some games you guys are excited about?
I'll start off with a game that I was excited about in 2022. I'm really hoping will finally make its debut in 2023, and that is Arceus. And this game, honestly, it might be entering into that category of game where I've possibly worked it up too big in my mind, anticipating it almost too much, and it's going to let me down. This is a game I backed close to a couple of years ago. It has such an amazing cast of people that are involved in it, the designers, the artists, everything. The concept of it is really cool. The idea is that it's a dungeon crawl, but it's set in sort of a steampunk Egypt. And it just looks so good, and I was really anticipating it last year. I think it's finally going to make it out this year. I'm really looking forward to that one.
Well, at the end of 2022, I received an exceptionally large box at my front door. Also taken a little longer than they had expected, but same old story with Kickstarters and COVID, right? Aeon Trespass Odyssey. Good heavens, that box is monstrous. There's a ton of content. I'm excited for it. So you're playing as the Argonauts. Premise of the game is that the Primordials have come to Earth and have killed Olympian gods. And the Titans have been released. And as the Argonauts, you have found a way to control the Titans. Find different Titans throughout the campaign. Find ways to control them to fight the Primordials. Asymmetrical powers as the specific Argonaut that you are, in combination with the Titan that you're controlling. It's a campaign game, surprise, surprise. So hopefully we can get it to the table this year. Hopefully we can get a lot of our campaign games to the table this year.
Oh, we're definitely going to start that.
You know what? I think we should just end the episode with that. Maybe that should be our only preview.
That's definitely a very good New Year's resolution, is to get through some of our campaign games. Very lofty goal, but one that would be amazing to be able to actually complete. Not playing solo, but actually playing with the group. Looking at you, Doug.
My New Year's resolution was to be excited about starting a bunch of campaign games.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
And never finishing them.
You fit right in.
Don't switch it up on me.
We'll play 9 out of 10 games and then never play the last one.
I wish it was 9. It's usually like 1, 2, 3 games out of 15, 20, 25.
It's true.
I really hope that we can finish some of our campaign games this year. I personally want to make a push for that. That is one of my resolutions. We need to do that.
I agree.
You know what? We should find somebody who makes gaming goals and influence those gaming goals.
And that's the only thing that gets put in as gaming goals.
I mean, there are enough of those that a 10 for 10 should probably be really easy to fill out.
But who could we lean on for that, guys?
You would think, but I put Gloomhaven on my 10 for 10, and that was like pulling teeth to get that finished before the end of last year.
Yeah, but once we got it to the table, then it's easy to keep playing.
Not pulling teeth because it's not fun to play, just finding the time.
Scheduling some playtime.
Speaking of Gloomhaven, I'm going to throw out Frosthaven really quick. Now, I
Not
did
till we're
receive.
through with Gloomhaven.
I'm going to throw out Frosthaven really quick. Now, technically, this one did show up on my doorstep last month, so in 2022. However, I think this is going to be a big game for us in 2023. At least I'm hoping that it is. I have it all ready to go. I have it punched. Everything's in the bags. I've got everything ready to play and can't wait because it actually looks really, really good.
I am really excited about this as well. So yes, we need to finish Gloomhaven so we can start Frosthaven, which has even more content than Gloomhaven.
I am also super excited. However, you made me remove something from my list of things that I was really looking forward in 2023, and that was punching out all of the Frosthaven content with you.
Well, you're in luck, Dave. For some reason, mine hasn't shown up yet. Everybody else has been fulfilled for well over a month now. Yet I've heard hide nor hair about where mine is. I've sent a couple of messages, and I get some crickets. Hopefully, if mine ever shows up, you can punch that till you're blue in the face.
27 punch boards.
I am so
For
excited.
Frosthaven.
So my question is, were you excited to do the punch boards, or were you excited to do the punch boards with Doug?
A little both. Love to punch out the stuff.
My punch board parties are legendary.
Another game that is really high on my list for 2023 is Andy Poop's favorite video game board game.
Skyrim.
Yes.
Skyrim. Thank you. I couldn't remember
So
the name of it.
excited.
Is this a campaign game too?
Yes, it is.
Of course it is.
Of
You
course.
don't back anything except for campaign games,
You know,
except for Tiny Turbo Cars, which was awesome.
it was awesome. And there's some that are not campaign games. I mean, Merchant's Cove was not a campaign game, but there are a lot that are. Probably half of the games I back are campaign games.
Well, this is also my favorite video game of all time, and it was an insta-back for me. So we'll have 2 boxes of those to share around.
It's going to be awesome.
We need to correlate that better. Apparently, I need to follow you on Kickstarter, Doug. I'm already following Andy, so when I see Andy back something, I know I don't have to. But yeah, we have 2 copies of Frosthaven. We have 2 copies of Skyrim.
We need to sync up for sure.
More variety and less deep stock and awesome games.
Speaking of cool video games that have been turned into board games and will hopefully be out in 2023, have any of you played Slay the Spire?
I have not.
Actually really good, and I would highly recommend it. Download it on Steam. You can also just get it on like iOS and Android. Basically a roguelike deck builder in video game format. The board game for that is coming out, and I'm very curious. This is one that after checking out the Kickstarter campaign for it, I think it could go either way. I think this could just be kind of a sloppy integration. It also looks like if they pull off and can mimic the gameplay that you get from the video game, it will be an absolutely fantastic deck builder. And I always get excited about deck builders. I love deck building games.
I also love a good deck builder. Last year, I also received my copy of the first installation of Wayfarers of the South Tigris trilogy. Really excited for a new trilogy coming from them. The first one was okay, The Raiders, but I really loved the West Kingdom, hoping that Wayfarers is just as good, if not better, than Architects and Paladins and Viscounts were.
I'm going to take us away from games for just a second. I am excited because I should finally be starting nursing school.
So that means Dave is going to be taking the place of Logan, but Logan doesn't have a place anymore because he's working. So it's going to be the 3 of us.
Breaking news on this episode, Dave won't be with us in 2023. Is that what we're hearing, Dave?
I'm really hoping not.
You're hoping not. You're hoping you don't want to be with us. Oh.
Whoops, did I just say the quiet
Wow.
part out loud? No, I'm really looking forward to nursing school, except for it will probably make it a lot harder for me to attend a lot of things. I am going to do my best, though, to not be Logan. But I will still end this with a sad face.
We're excited for you to start that chapter of your life, Dave. That'll be really awesome.
We're also excited for that chapter of your life to end so that you can play games again.
Right.
That's what I meant to say.
So bringing it back to games a little bit, maybe not board games, we started a D&D 3.5 campaign several years ago, actually, where each of us were playing a Goliath. It has been probably the funnest D&D campaign I've ever played. Hoping that we can pick that back up and start playing again and maybe bring in Doug, because Doug was not in that, and I don't know if Nathan's interested or not, but it was so much fun.
The amount of fun that we have had playing that, absolutely the funnest campaign that I've been in for in D&D. Knowing what I know about role-playing with Doug in Pathfinder, I sure hope he does join our Goliath campaign.
So would you say it's big fun?
maybe a little bit bigger.
I hope that I get to join you guys. People need to understand. I've been gaming with you guys for over a year and a half. I've been hearing about how amazing this campaign is the whole time and have yet to see you guys actually resume that campaign or be invited. Let's throw that on the list of unfinished business at Meeple Nation.
Let's just commit to each other that we're all going to put our foot down with Fritchett. Tell him that he must come prepared to play.
So speaking of RPGs, at some point we also have G.I. Joe that we're going to start. I've put a ton of work into, not enough work to get us started yet.
I've heard it's a lot like Power Rangers.
You do bring up a funny point. Drives me nuts with Renegade Games. Their licenses with G.I. Joe and Transformers. They came out with their Power Rangers license first. All their games are similar games that are based on previous licenses. Last month we played G.I. Joe Mission Critical. It comes with a little sheet in the top. It explains, if you've played Power Rangers, then this game is going to be very familiar with you, and you can do this, just like that game. G.I. Joe Role Player, Core Book, same thing. If you're familiar with Power Rangers role-playing game, this should be real easy for you. All their videos, all their information, just like Power Rangers, you can do this. Not everybody's played your Power Ranger game. Not everybody wants to play your Power Ranger game. Have some content that is focused on solely those who haven't played your game. And I'm off my soapbox.
Did they do the deck building games for G.I. Joe and Transformers as well?
Yes.
Were those also based on the Power Ranger system?
You know what? I haven't played the G.I. Joe one yet. I have 2 expansions for it now. The Transformers one didn't say anything Power Rangers. So far, those have been unique.
Well, I'm looking forward to playing the RPG. I can't wait to explore this story you have prepared for us.
Yeah, it's going to be epic, I hope. It's epic in my mind. If that means epic to you, we'll see. It might fall flat. I had fun preparing for it.
I am looking forward to another campaign game. It's called Mythwind. It's supposed to be out this year. A campaign game that doesn't end. It ends when you decide that you want it to end. So it sounds amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Back to this one as well. Going back to
Yes,
that.
2 copies!
Yeah, 2
Woo!
copies, yeah! We need to sync up, like we were talking about. The game itself actually looks really good.
It really does.
That's another one that I'm looking forward to. That could either be an incredible experience or a real flop. We'll see. But it's definitely something I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, looking at the gameplay, I don't think it will be a flop, but you never know with Kickstarters. But I think we've been pretty lucky with the Kickstarters we've gotten. Even the ones that I wasn't sure about, think of Dead Reckoning. I was a little bit hesitant on backing because I wasn't really sure about the gameplay and whether I would like it or not, and ended up loving it. I think as far as most of my Kickstarters, I can only think of one that was kind of okay, but the rest have been great. This is another thing that we probably should have done in 2022. Doug, you and I both have a copy of new expansions to Everdell.
Yes.
The big box. Technically, we have 3 copies because my cousin Dennis also has it as well. We have Everdell coming out of our ears, so we need to play it.
Agreed. I love Everdell, and that New Leaf expansion looks wonderful.
The big box is great. The content that came with it was amazing.
Absolutely.
It takes up a lot of shelf space, but honestly, I mean, it already was with all the boxes, so it's kind of nice to have it all in one box. In particular, if you're taking it somewhere, it's really nice. So you're not having to lug 15 loose boxes around and have the risk of dropping one of them.
Yes, and the storage solution that it provides makes setup and takedown a lot easier as well.
It does, and I like how they had everything separated for each expansion. If you want to play a certain expansion, you just pull that insert out. You have everything ready to go. It's one of those that you can play with everything if you want to. I think that's kind of crazy and a little bit overboard. I like to pick and choose 1 or 2 expansions at most and play the game like that. So it's really nice to just pull that insert out, get everything set up. Once you're done, put everything back, and it all fits so nicely in that box. They did a really great job with that.
One more that I'm looking forward to in 2023, Unconscious Mind. This is a game by Johnny Pack, features art by Andrew Bosley and Vincent Dutray, who are 2 of my favorite artists in the board game hobby. The premise of this one seems incredibly unique. Basically, you're playing as these scientists, these psychoanalysts, and you're delving into your client's dreams to try to cure them from whatever ails them. But it features worker placement. It features multiple rondelles, Nathan.
Perked my interest.
And a whole host of other mechanisms that just seem really awesome. This is one I've got my eye on. The crowdfunding campaign just finished late last year. So I'm hoping that this hits the 2023 window. We'll see if kind of the global shipping situation improves this year. I'm hoping that it does, because if it doesn't, this might be one that slips into 2024. That one looks really good.
Recent Kickstarters, one of the ones I'm really excited to try, hope that we actually get to the table to play as a group, is Oathsworn.
Yes.
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 Please. Oathsworn.
Oathsworn is fantastic, and I've talked about it a lot. It does continue to blow me away. That campaign is just so good. That is one we will get to the table. More on that in the future, dear listener.
Few Kickstarters that I have been looking at that look pretty cool. One, it's another video game adaptation, Dying Light, kind of a zombie parkour. Anyway.
Hardcore parkour.
Hardcore parkour.
Parkour.
Some of the mechanisms in there look pretty cool. Welded Iron is another one. The artwork on it looks fantastic. In fact, I was showing it to Nathan earlier, and he just saw the little artwork, and he's like, the art looks awesome. And it's one that was actually developed because of some artwork. That's all I have to say about it.
I still have a whole shelf of shame I'm looking forward to getting to in 2023. I wonder how many of them I will actually get to. Like the new Jurassic Park Legacy game, the Legacy of Issa Nublar or whatever. So want to play that. 3,000 Scoundrels. We still haven't played Unfathomable, and we still haven't really played a significant amount of Sleeping Gods yet.
And we
All
have
of
a
those.
new one coming out here not too long. Distant Skies will be out soon. Once again, that falls into the campaign, or a bunch of campaigns, which brings me to the thing I'm most excited about for 2023, and that's game nights, and more game nights. And I'm hoping to be done with school, at least part of school, so my schedule will open up and more gaming during the week. I don't know how much that is. At least be more free time during the week to do other things. But
Read rules.
Read rules. Yep, that'll be part of it. And that's one of the biggest reasons why there's so many games on the shelf of shame, right? I agree, Doug. Getting some games off the shelf of shame would be a big deal. It's easy to recognize them in Nathan's game room because they all have shrink. There's one right there, and right there, right there, and right there.
Oh, that's just because you haven't turned around. There's a lot of games that I have, as you just got through shaming me about. I would like to get to the table. All of us have time crunches, and reading rules seems to always be the roadblock. It's always nice when there's a video to help that. That makes going through those rules hopefully a little bit more clear. There's so many games that we have, but some that I'm looking forward to, and after BGGCon and kind of opening it up and looking at it, I'm a little bit leery of, hoping it's not a flop. I'm still looking forward to They Live, Assault on Cable 54. This is one of my all-time favorite cult classic movies. I want it to be an experience like Big Trouble in Little China, where they paid homage to that movie very, very well in that game. I want They Live to be at that same level. But I'm a little bit nervous that it's not going to be. I think we got it in November of last year, maybe at end of October.
You know, that's a pretty high standard to hold it to, because I think Big Trouble in Little China is one of the few games based on movies. Not only did they stay true to the movie, but the gameplay is really good. I think there are some that don't quite fit that level of high quality gameplay, along with they hit all the nostalgia buttons.
Yeah, they did a ton of research for Big Trouble in Little China, the game. I'm a little worried I just paid a nerd tax on this one. It's just going to end up sitting in the box and looking cool on the shelf.
It happens to all of us.
You look at BGG and there's no reviews. It doesn't have a rating level yet. A lot of games, before they're even released, have several ratings on there.
It doesn't really seem like it's generating much buzz.
I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm still anxious to try it, but it might be a one-and-done game.
Oftentimes joke that one of us needs to win the lottery so that we can all just kind of retire and play board games. That's not going to happen. So in all seriousness, I hope that we can do a good job of managing our time coming year. At the risk of maybe being just a little too personal, 2022 was not without its trials, I think, for all of us. Some family stuff, flooded basements. Nathan's been trying to sell and buy houses, had health issues, and a whole bunch of different things going on. And I think we're all really hoping, fingers crossed, that 2023 is a much calmer year where we can just take a deep breath and focus on getting some games played and kick back a little bit.
I'll drink to that.
2022 was intense.
Very true. Hopefully that means that Doug will start coming to Thursday night game night more often.
And hopefully Andy will show up earlier. And Dave will, well, Dave's not going to come. He's going to be doing homework now.
Once I'm done with school, I can start coming earlier.
As we were preparing, I was looking at BGG games that were coming out in 2023. I'm baffled that that list is already over 1,500 games. We're in the first week of January. So there's a lot of games that are out there. Some moron's probably going to be buying way too many than they have shelf room for.
Who would do such a thing?
Why would you
Nathan?
say that about me? I'm getting new shelves, so we're going to hopefully remedy some of that.
I've gotten new shelves too and quickly filled them and got more shelves and quickly filled them and got more shelves. This year started. I'm out of shelves and there's already 1,500 new games out.
It's time to break some walls down and expand the game room.
Put the cars out in the street. We're going to take over the garage, move game room down to the garage. It is an exciting time for the hobby. There is a lot of games that are coming out. So much variety out there that it's impossible to be able to stay up on every game, but we sure do try. Try to find winners and we try to find games that we enjoy. We try to find every campaign game.
Known to man.
Yeah, every legacy game. We try to try all those. We just have a wide scope of games, and I'm looking forward to more of that. I'm looking forward to, like you said, Andy, more game nights. I'm looking forward to conventions. I'm looking forward to gaming with my wife. I'm looking forward to more games of Guess Who. Got to play a great game of Guess Who with Carson the other day, and I won.
That's only because you kept an eye on him so he wouldn't cheat.
I was going to say, winning that game against Carson is actually something to be proud of.
Funny story. My first question is, does your person have a hat? It was just like the sales were just let out of him right off. There was only like 6 people that had a hat. My next question was, do they have a mustache? And only one person has a mustache. And he's like, yeah. So I got it in 3 questions, which was pure luck. And I was just mostly looking at the character that I had that he gave me, which he looked at before he gave me that.
So he still did cheat. Little turd.
Even with his previous information, he still lost. It was a highlight for me for sure. But I'm just looking forward to more of that, more times.
More destroying little kids. Nathan's 2023 goal is to destroy little kids at games.
I'm just looking forward to Amara playing games that she can destroy me in.
The last thing I want to mention that I'm looking forward to, and Doug kind of alluded to this earlier, I'm looking forward to interacting more with some of you. Most of the time when we record, we mention, hey, send us an email, leave some comments on our blogs or on some of our social media. I think most of us here really look forward to having more interaction and having this be more of a two-way communication rather than just the one.
Absolutely.
Well, that gives a decent look at what we're looking forward to in 2023. Let us know what you are looking forward to. We would love to hear from you and maybe add some of the games you're looking forward to our lists of games. Until next time.
We'll see you planning out your year, hopefully with loads of games in 2023.
Let's go play Frosthaven.
No, Gloomhaven still.
It's next year now.
We're still playing Gloomhaven.
No!
We're almost there. Smelling the mic again.
I am.
As always, we want to thank you for listening.
Check out our website. We have all sorts of cool things there. Love those blogs. Get a deeper look into the writing side of Meeple Nation.
Join our Facebook group, Meeple Nation Off Air. I look forward to seeing you there.
Follow us on Twitter @Meeple Nation. We also have Instagram.
Under the same name. We also want to thank our sponsor, GameToppersLLC.com.
We love their product, and they have so much goodness out there.
And we also want to thank Braden Detergent for our music.
Meeple Nation Podcaps. Caps?
Meeple
Yeah,
Nation
baby.
Podcaps.
Podcasts.
You gotta
Is that
collect them all.
Is that like popping caps?
No, it's like Pogs, I guess. I don't know.
All right.
Meeple Nation Podcast, episode 456. Welcome to 2023. What are you looking for? Word 2. What are we looking forward to in 2023? First try.
Meeple Nation Podcast is sponsored by Game Toppers.
Start again because I
Meep-
started talking the same
Oh,
time.
Beep boop, beep boop.
me.
As your... No, let's do this. I think I gotta make this fun.
Yahoo!
Yeah.
Happy New Year! Is this a campaign game?
Yes, it is.
Damn it. Is this a campaign? Damn it. Is yeah, you're spot on. Oh, I just drooled.
I am also looking forward to.
Is you okay over
Wow.
there?
No, my internet's
That was a
going
whole
way slow over here. It's
thing
making
over
me
there.
mad.
Wow.
I was trying to hurry up.
Patience hate me. Parkour hates me.
There's so many games. I mean, I was looking.